What's going on, guys? In this video I wanted to go over SoFi stock and give an update on my options positions on SoFi. If you haven't seen my previous video on SoFi, I went over how I'm running the wheel on the stock. You should go check that out. I will link it down below. But otherwise, sit back, enjoy the video, and if you do like the video, make sure you drop a like down below, and if you want to see more videos like this one, make sure you hit the subscribe button. So first up here, we're going to take a look at SoFi's chart, and you can see today as of December 17th, this is Friday, we were up 2.66% on the stock at a price of $14.65. So far, a good day, especially on a small cap, which we haven't seen lately. So far, small caps have been kind of getting beaten down quite a bit. And over the last 5 days, we've actually seen a lot of good support in SoFi stock. So you can see down here that we're kind of bottoming out around the $14 level, and we're kind of hitting there a couple different times, but we're never really breaking that support. We had some good spikes up kind of in here, but so far we're really not breaking that 14. It seems like we've seen a lot of support, at least this week, at that level. So over the last month, we're kind of bottoming out, it looks like, again. So we haven't seen the kind of significant drops that we saw in here where we're continually having red days, but we've kind of seen a more stable kind of position in here in the last week. And overall, the last month we're down almost 30%, 6 months we're down 36%. If you haven't seen my SoFi stock analysis video, check that one out too. But basically what we're seeing in here is a lot of those investors, because SoFi is a recent IPO, you can see it IPO'd back on December 4th, 2020. You're kind of seeing these run-ups and then pullbacks in the stock. Run up, pullback, run up, pullback. And a lot of that has to do with a lot of the initial investors who basically owned a lot of the stock in the company when it was starting up, and basically they're looking to sell out, and it appears that they're kind of selling out around the $22 range. So now let's jump into some news on SoFi. By news, I mean basically the lack thereof bad news. If you go to Google and search SoFi stock news and basically click on the news tab here, you'll see that almost all of these headlines are positive. So we have SoFi hitting $30 in 2022. We have basically the announcement of completing redemption of certain outstanding warrants. You have basically, it's being down badly, but they see gains ahead, and kind of just more of the same. It's down big, tremendously undervalued. You have buy SoFi while it's cheap. All of these kind of just against what you were seeing in the market, right? There's a bunch of positive news, but the stock is still getting beaten down. And what you're seeing is obviously the market overall, especially for small caps, has been just beaten down and kind of destroyed. A lot of these speculative stocks, people are tax loss harvesting. So over the last kind of month, as we approach the end of the year, basically they're selling their losing stocks and basically being able to write those gains off as losses against their tax bills next year. You're seeing portions of that. Also, there are some, obviously there were fears of the virus basically coming back up. And then the last thing, which I think would have probably the biggest effect on SoFi stock, would be the Fed announcing rate increases. Obviously, SoFi, they've run some mortgages and other things. So as money becomes more expensive when the Fed increases rates, you can basically see them kind of getting hurt by less people borrowing, things like of that nature. The one benefit they will obviously have is as rates increase, they can basically also increase their rates, so they still have the potential to make money and continue to make money, but money is just basically less freely available, so less people are borrowing. So that's really what we're seeing on news is there's really no negative news. Everything is positive, and it's only getting more positive as the stock drops. And like I kind of mentioned, I think we're basically starting to get towards the bottom. We could drop more, you never know, but we're getting closer to the end of December. People are kind of finishing up tax loss harvesting, and I think over the next kind of couple of weeks we could see SoFi bounce back significantly, especially looking at their chart, where it looks like every couple months you're kind of seeing this run up. So we could see it kind of run down a little bit into the new year, but I wouldn't be surprised if in February we see everything kind of start spiking back up and see SoFi reach this $22 range again. So I'm very bullish on the stock, and you'll kind of see how I'm positioning myself here in a minute to potentially capitalize on some of those gains. So here's the spreadsheet that I shared a while back in my SoFi options wheel strategy video. And basically what we're looking at is how I'm running the wheel on SoFi stock. So back in July, I actually sold a put at the $17 strike, and I was able to collect a little over $28. And basically ever since then I was forced to buy SoFi shares at the $17 strike, and ever since then I've been kind of selling calls against that position. And if you remember, and if you saw that last SoFi video, I kind of got in trouble actually on the upside, so on the good side. So what I ended up doing right in here is SoFi blew past my strike of 1750, and I was in the money. So I was forced to basically buy back this call, and I sold a call further out, basically with more time and further out of the money. And I was able to collect almost all of my premium that I had to spend to buy that call back. So right, if you see here, I sold the original call for $35, and then I had to buy it back for $144, and then I actually sold basically a new call further out in time, further out in strike, and I was able to collect $141 on that sell. And then actually that one was even kind of put in trouble, so I ended up buying that one back for $255 and sold December 17th for $253. So again, basically just breaking even here, just continuing to roll my strike because I'm overall bullish on SoFi, and I didn't want my shares to be called away. So what ended up happening right in the last week is I ended up closing this this call that I sold. I bought it back for $1 here just the other day, and basically sold a call down here for the $18 strike, and I was able to collect $21, and I only sold it a couple weeks out, which is actually fantastic. The other thing that you'll see that I'm doing, obviously I think SoFi is bottoming out. And with that, I also think that SoFi has a lot of potential to go up. I think a price target, and again, if you didn't see my video on my SoFi stock analysis, basically a lot of analysts are predicting a price target of around $25. So overall, I'm very bullish on stock, and I think a $14 basically price, even 14 to 15, I think is a great deal. So what I've been doing the last week is on the 10th actually, I sold this put. So I sold a put at the $14 strike, and I was able to collect $19 for that. So then SoFi this week actually kind of spiked up. I forget if it was Monday or Tuesday, but it spiked up a little bit, and I felt comfortable buying that put back. So I ended up buying it back for $10.66, and then from there I turned around and actually sold another put at $14. Because I could sell it a week out, and I felt like that $10 was worth spending to be able to gain this $34 of premium here. So I ended up selling that, and basically collected the 34 there. So here I have two ROIs. Actually, I guess before we look at that, in total, when I add up all this premium that I've collected on SoFi, we're at almost $250 in total premium. And what I did on that is I broke that out. So I wanted to look at, because I'm basically running two wheels on SoFi. I have the original wheel that I ran at the $17 strike, and then I've started a new wheel recently because the best way to sell the wheel and run the wheel is on stocks that are very beaten down and that you see a lot of potential upside in. So basically I started selling a second wheel here at the $14 strike. So when we break that out, and we look at basically the original wheel that I have ran at the $17 strike, I have collected in total on that $205. So that's 205 of the 248, that of total that we've collected. So basically what that accounts for is a 12% ROI. That's just in total when we're looking at the percent, right? So I've tied up $1,700, and I'm basically dividing the premium by that. So that's my total ROI, not obviously including appreciation because the stock is down from my $17 strike. So if you included appreciation, I would actually be in the negative. I would be down ROI, but I'm just looking at the premium from this. And I fully expect SoFi to bounce past 17, so I'm not really worried about that. But right now we've collected a 12% return on our money, and then if you extrapolated that basically over an entire year, right, because we're only looking at around 5 months of the year, you would actually have a 25% return. So obviously that's really solid. That's excellent for return for a stock. When you look at the $14 put that I just recently started selling, obviously these numbers are a little more blown out of proportion, but we've collected $43 just in the last 2 weeks, and that accounts for a 3% ROI. And again, that's just basically calculated by dividing my total amount of premium collected by 1,400. And then if we extrapolate that total over a year, we would actually have an 86% return. So that's obviously crazy and kind of out there. There's no way that we can continue with this. SoFi has a lot of volatility right now, so we've been able to collect a significant amount of money, but we could kind of continue kind of running this, and you could see if we continued running this for quite a while, we could probably collect somewhere and would actually be somewhere similar to where we're at on this spread. So like I said, overall, like SoFi stock, and I wouldn't mind buying more shares at the $14 strike. That's why I sold my put there. I honestly thought about even considering the $14.50 strike and hopefully kind of getting exercised. If we jump back to the stock price, we obviously wouldn't have been exercised at $14.50 because we actually closed above there today. But I wouldn't even mind buying there. Maybe next week, if the stock spikes up one day, I might close out of this trade and actually kind of roll it up to the $14.50 strike and collect a little more premium. So we'll see how that plays out. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys got some value out of it. If you did, make sure you drop a like down below. And if you want to see more videos like this one, as I always mention, make sure you hit the subscribe button. But I appreciate you guys watching, and have a wonderful rest of your day.